So for this lesson, we are going to be looking at for loop. So we are going to be learning how to write a for loop. So let's start with the syntax. To write a for loop, we have the for keyword. Start with the for keyword, and then you have your parentheses. And just for the sake of reference, I'm going to use this as a template. So this will be the initialization, and I'm going to explain what that is. After the initialization, we separate the next thing with a semicolon, and then we have our condition here, and after the condition we have our increment or decrement. Okay, remember I said we are repeating an action until the condition is met. And so for we to keep repeating the action, we need to tell the computer either to go forward or go backward. So that's what the increment and decrement connotes. So then here we have the code to execute, the code that we want to execute, right? So what's the meaning of initialization? Initialization simply means the point at which we are starting, okay, where we are starting from. So let's just quickly, let me copy this and then write this as start points. And then the condition, of course, the condition is either going to be a true or false. Condition is either going to be a boolean, which is true or false. And then the next thing is the increment. So the increment is just going to be our counter, the increment or decrement is going to be our counter. We can express that with any symbol. It could be addition, subtraction, division, or multiplication. Okay, and yes. So it could be any of that. And so let's just quickly look at an example. So let's say I want to repeat an action now. I want to count from 1 to 10. So if I want to count from 1 to 10, so I'm going to write the for loop. Remember I said we will, so let me just comment all this. So this is the for loop, and then we have initialization. It means where do we want to start? Definitely we are going to start with from, let's say, 0. Let's say we want to start from 0, and to start from 0 we have to declare a variable. You've been taught how to declare a variable, so we can call this let start be equals to 0. And then the next thing is the condition. I want to count 1 to 3 until I reach where? Until I reach 10. So let's say if I'm going to be starting from 0 and I want to reach 10, and I want to express that as a condition, so I'm either going to use a logical operator, and one of the logical operator that we have is greater than or less than. So I can say I want to I'm starting from where starts from. That's funny. And then I want to end, I want all, I want to start from where starts from, and then I want to end at number 10. So that means that my whatever number start is going to be, I want it not to get to 11. So I'm going to put 11 as the benchmark. So then I want to be able to increase start. I want to be able to increase start. Start should be increment, to have an increment. Yeah. So then I will now console.log start. All right. So let's run this now. So you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what it does is this: it takes these values first, okay, 0. It checks the condition: is 0 less than 11? If it is less than 11, it runs this. So this is the flow part. The flow part is, it first check, it takes looks at the initialization, then the next thing is it checks condition, okay. If true, if the condition is true, if true, execute, that is to execute the code. So at the point where it gets to, so let's say this starts from 0. Once it's, if true, execute the code, then go to the increment, or decrement section. So let's use this as an example. So I'm starting from 0. 0 is less than 11, so I'm going to write 0, and then I'm going to go to this increment or decrement section. This section says I increase by 1. I believe you all know that start plus plus is similar to start equals to start plus 1. So you see that everything that you have learned so far connects together. All right, so let's just comment that out. So what if it's not true? So by the time I get to 10 and I say is 10 less than 11, 10 is less than 11, so it will log 10. Now by the time I go to the increment and decrement section, so the increments and decrements section, 10 plus 1, that's 11. Now after I go to the increment and decrement section, I then do what again? I repeat, I go repeat number 1 again. No, let me put it this way. After that, I go back to the condition. So after 10 has been increased to 11, I go back to this condition. Now the condition now is 11. Is 11 less than 11? No. So when I go back to the condition, so if the condition is false, exit the loop. It means stop the process. So at the point where we have 11 less than 11, this is not true again, so this code will not run, and that is why the point at when start is 11 will not show. So I believe you've been able to get the idea of how a for loop, the syntax of a for loop, and then how to write a for loop.